Hello, here's the next part of our series of SCA Heavy Rapier. Hi, I'm Niko, as I said before. Today we'll talk about the guards, or the cone of defense. Now, we call this the cone of defense because our tip of the sword is the tip of the cone, and our hand, or the guard, is the base of the cone. So the tip tries to stay pretty much the same spot as you move. Okay? So, remember our on guard position is here, here, our on guard position. That is actually guard number 3. So, we'll go up to, actually, let's start with number 4 and go backwards. So, number 4 is the guard that is covering this part of your body. Now, when we're talking about the guards, we also talk about inside and outside. So, inside of the body, outside of the body. Sounds kind of weird, but if you're facing your opponent, anything from your hand to your through your body to your other hand is called the inside. Anything from your hand out towards your shoulder of the sword that of your sword hand is called the outside. So if I'm here, this is the inside, this is the outside. Okay, so guard number 4 is you turn your hand so your palm is up, and you make an angle of the sword. So the sword angle, and your wrist is here. So you want to use this part of the sword to parry or block your opponent. Now when I do this, you notice my sword does not move way out here, and also the tip does not move. Here. Here. That's number 4. Now let me get closer to you so you can see what my hand does. Okay, that's number 4. This is the angle of my sword. My palm is up, and you will catch or make contact with your opponent's sword here. Okay, so number 3, number 4. Right now, number 3 to number 2. Number 2 is a parry or a guard for the outside of your body. So if the sword comes this direction, you move your palm down. So your palm facing down, but you still have that same angle from your arm and the sword. So I'll show you over here. Down. So there's still an angle from the sword blade to your arm. Sword blade to your arm. And when you're at this position, you are contacting your opponent's blade with this edge. It's important when you're parrying, when you're blocking, parrying, it is very important that you use the edges of your sword, because the edges are the ones that do not bend. If you use the flat part of your sword will bend, and the person could stab right through it. All right, so we have 3, we have 4, and we have 2. Now notice the 2 is not way out here, and the 4 is not way out here, and then 3. So guard number 1 is the high guard. It is not used a lot unless you're very small and mostly left-handed. I'm left-handed, so I use it a little bit, but it's still, and I'm short. So I use it a bit. Most right-handers will not, but it's good to know. Okay, so guard number 1, the high guard, turns just like number 2, except you continue going up to the top of your body, about temple level, and about, I want to say, a foot and a half from your body. So that is the guard. So the guard is for somebody who is stabbing you way up high, trying to hit you in the head, and you parry it. Now notice the tip of my sword is still right at the person. It's not down. It is not, well, it can't really be up. It's not across this way. So yet again, so if my sword is here, just like this, you may not want to attack me. So even if I guard and my sword is here, you still may not want to continue that attack. But if I guard and the sword is down here, you don't have that threat. So you may want to continue the attack because you don't have anything threatening you with any consequences other than continuing your attack. So when you do any of these guards, you want to tip
that tip stays at your opponent. So this is guard number 1. Now I'll kneel down so you can see it from here. So it's about temple level. I use my thumb as the anchor or the support for it, and my palm is actually facing outwards at an angle. Now there is still a little bit of you're not straight on. It's a little bit of an angle down because you're still focusing on your opponent's eyes or throat somewhere in this region to hit. Okay, so those are the guards. Now I'll try to get the pel closer to the camera so that we can see the actual guard. Okay, so let's start here. Guard number 2. This is guard. Okay, we're on guard number 3. We're on guard. Okay, the person is coming to the inside of your body. You turn here, so your palm is up. There's an angle so that you can continue to strike, and your opponent's blade goes away from your body. Okay, on the outside here, your palm goes down, so you can still stab, and your opponent's blade goes across and passes your body without hitting. So again, from 3 to 4, angle. You want this part of their sword is the light part, this part of your sword the thick part, the defense. You want that to control their sword. And you want to keep that angle. Because if you notice, if I straighten out, you see where their sword point just went? It went from going this way to coming straight at me because I straightened out my sword. Okay, so you want to keep that angle. Even when you're striking, you want to keep that angle. Okay, again, number 3 to number 2, your palm is down. I can stab at them. I keep that angle at all times, and they miss you. Now, angle number 1 is going to be hard to see, so I'll bring it down here. That is the angle that you want, except its way is here. Okay, those are the 4 guards. There's one more guard that I like to talk about when I am talking about the cone of defense that is not on the cone. Sometimes somebody will stab at your leg or your knee or your foot. When they do that, the cone is only for the upper body. So it's not really going to do well when you are aiming for the lower part of your body. So there are 2 ways to combat this or to defend this. One way is to turn your sword and strike the sword as it comes in. So you start here, you turn your sword to counterclockwise to the left, and then point down. So your hand is here, it turns this way and points down. So you're basically hitting the sword from your opponent's, hitting your opponent's sword from trying to hit you in the leg. The second thing is that if you ever notice somebody that is stabbing for your leg, most of the time they will bend down. When they bend down, their head is closer to you than any other part of their body. So instead of doing this and being completely defensive, you can move your leg back and keep the tip of your sword out. So if they stretch out a little too much or enough for you to hit them, you can straighten up your leg and hit, and then you come back with your back foot to get on guard again. All right, so those are the guards I'd like to talk about. There are other guards, and there are guards with offhand weapons as well, and with the offhand. So next will be our final part of the series. We'll talk about what to do with the other hand, and we'll talk about some pel practice. Thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you again real soon.